Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's TNL. This is the SRS segment. Bridget Reimer, and I'm here with Alvin Valmstieg. We're actually in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, because I'm lucky enough that he's local. So it's a unique opportunity. Normally we're doing these a little bit virtually, but he was nice enough to stop by the office. So thanks for coming in, Al.
You're welcome.
Al's been with FFL for a while and successfully does, life insurance mixed with annuity and IUL. So we're going to just talk to him a little bit today. I want to know how you're successful doing that, how to guide new agents and how to build up new agents' confidence in those markets. So for starters, I can't remember, how long ago was it that you started with Family First Life?
2018 spring.
It's been a while then. Yeah, going on 5 years.
Yeah,
or a little over 5 years now.
Over now. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And when did you? So you got into the business. You were back then. You were probably doing it how we've always done it: buy leads, go to life appointments, mortgage protection, maybe some final expense. Are you still doing business that way?
No, we've completely transitioned over to virtual. I've been doing that for at least 2.5, 3 years, something like that now.
Yeah, the world kind of changed, and because you used to do primarily in-home, right?
Right.
So now 100% virtual, but still doing leads?
Still doing leads. I do get some referrals. I have a relationship with a local agent here that sends a business my way. We're also have incorporated a lot of annual reviews. Those have been really helpful. But for the most part, mortgage protection, final expense, other Facebook leads, yes.
Okay, yeah, so still doing the life, primary life leads. Tell me when, and if I remember correctly, Al, you actually had a background in the security side.
Right.
So you pretty much jumped into annuities right away.
Yeah, it was an easy transition for me. I really started out with Family First Life as kind of a side gig, frankly, and it just took off. And so, that was a pretty easy transition just because of my background.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you run a team, and you have a team of agents who didn't come from that background. Because your example, when you come from the financial background, it's maybe a little more comfortable to talk about annuities. Now, the products we sell aren't complicated like the world you came from, right? Like the FIA is very straightforward, but you weren't afraid to ask about people's money right away.
No.
But you run a team, and your agents probably didn't come from the background. So what do you do to teach your agents to also incorporate annuities and IULs into their business right away?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's a challenge all the time. But it's basically trying to stick to the script, being consistent, being a student of the game, right? I mean, we've got so much a volume of content that everything's available, and it can be overwhelming too. So I try to like the 3 points that Sean has, that one short video. That's a great one for agents to learn. If you don't know that, we can get that to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also one that I send out to clients.
The 3 reasons everyone should have one.
For an IUL as an example. But there's lots of content. So just be a student of the game, and the people that have been successful here are strong students of the game. So they're always learning their craft and continuing to improve, and I continue to do that myself. So that's number one. Ask me questions. I think it's also it's a good idea to find a mentor so that you can the first few, getting through it, I mean, you can go ahead and get beat up, but I mean, if you don't access the AMS team, you're crazy. Because it's just there's a lot, and it can be overwhelming, and that's probably the main reason that people don't get started fast. So if you can find a mentor that'll help you, even to help you write the first few annuities, and do a split. I mean, you're crazy not to do that just because
make no money or a little bit, and then learn how to do it on your own.
100%.
Right.
Yep.
And we talked a little bit about you think it's important to really stick to the script, because really uncovering these opportunities is all it takes is asking questions. Because the good news is you have so many resources available to you, like mentors, and the AMS team will help you find the right product and teach you the product, right? Teach you what to do, and then split deals to get sales and watch someone else present. But uncovering the opportunities has to fall on you because you're the one in the appointments, right? So talk to me a little bit about, you said you have all your agents have a script, don't deviate from the script, and identify some of the questions that you use to find those additional opportunities like IULs and annuities.
Right, so it's no different. I don't change at all. I always ask the same questions. So if it's a mortgage protection or any kind of, it doesn't matter. But if I'm going to ask a few questions and take control right away about their income, what do they do for work? Do they have a spouse? How many kids do they have? How old are they? Those kinds of things. Of course, it depends on the age of the prospect also. I mean, if they're mid-30s or 40, then it's a slightly different scenario. If they're 65 or 70, it's a different scenario. But it's about asking the questions with regards, do you have anything that acts or looks like retirement account or other investments like insurance, okay? And then you can do that. But I tend to just ask straight up, depending on if they're self-employed, okay, then I already know that that's a potential for an IUL. Not necessarily an annuity, because they're younger and don't have maybe the resources. Unless I found out, I just started this company because I worked over here, and now I know that they might have had a 401k opportunity for a rollover or whatever the case may be. So it's just straight out. Well, I had a mentor that told me one day, he said, look, you're the financial doctor, so act like it, okay? And that means confidence and taking control. And when you ask the questions in the right manner, then they're just going to answer them. They're not going to say, why are you asking me that?
Yeah, you're figuring out what to prescribe. So you have to do your needs analysis or your financial inventory, your fact finder, whatever it is you call it, because it's different for everyone, but it's the same thing. And so you're saying like the young client, and that you find out they're self-employed, well, you're immediately going to think about the potential of an IUL for retirement planning. But let's say you have a 65-year-old, you're asking them if they're working, and if they say, no, I'm recently retired, well, they're living off of something, right?
Well, I've already asked the question at this point, what did you do? Okay, so, well, I was a truck driver, or I worked for XYZ company. Okay, so what's your source of income? This is, I think, an important question. What's your source of income? You get Social Security or a pension, or both? Well, and then they just talk. I get a Social Security, I get a pension, and then I take some income from my retirement. Okay, so where's your retirement? Is it a brokerage? Is it a bank? Whatever. And you just keep going with it. And then I usually, and again, the recommendation is if you're doing a life appointment, is to focus on that.
Yes.
But you've locked that back in your brain so you can come back to it later. So you're not trying to do too many things at one time.
Yep. And that's important. And that's what we teach agents to do as well. They filled out, especially in the lead, if you're purchasing leads, they filled out a form asking for help with life insurance. We don't want to miss that. We want to make sure we showed up to serve them in the way that they asked to be served. But there's a chance that they don't even know they need to be served in the other aspects that we can offer. And so we also talked about, Al, presenting yourself in the appropriate way. Hi, I'm Al. I'm your life insurance agent. I'm a licensed agent in the state of whatever. I can also help with retirement planning. You're setting the stage for what you do and introducing yourself appropriately, so that when you're asking about that retirement account later, they're not surprised, right? They're not wondering why you're asking about it.
Right.
So tell me, what do you do as a new agent to gain confidence? Because so sticking to the script, taking control, right? What's the one thing you would tell a new agent to get into this game early, to try to incorporate all things into their business, annuity, IUL, life insurance, right? Instead of waiting to have confidence like you did coming from a financial planning background.
Well, it's kind of like, jumping in the water. Do you stick your toe in it or not? I mean, you just have to do it. And for me, when I'm trying new things, I just know in my head that I'm not going to be perfect to start out. Okay, I'm going to make mistakes. And I've got the confidence, at least in myself, to know that I'm going to learn from those mistakes, and then I'm going to make some adjustments. So that when I do it over again, I'm not going to make the same mistake, and I can keep forward and moving. But to answer your question bluntly, you have to just stick your neck out there. Okay, you have to try. Otherwise, you'll never get anywhere. You have to get down the road and give it a shot. And then you can always call your mentor, call your manager, and discuss how things went down. Okay, or if you need to, a lot of times with my new agents, I will get on the phone with them during that appointment when we know it's an annuity or an IUL type appointment. I'll just get on the phone and kind of take over, and then they get to hear what I have to say, and that's how they're going to learn.
So pull in the people that you need when you need them, right? And we're working on some super cool stuff here in our division. We're going to be launching an in-home assistance feature where we can hook you up with a seasoned annuity agent to help with those. Maybe you're under someone who's never written an annuity, and that's okay. We're working on some cool features to get you connected with people so that you don't have to be afraid to go into a presentation by yourself. You can watch someone else do it, and split the commission. But like we said, it's better to get some of the income and learn and be able to do it yourself than lose out entirely and leave opportunities on the table. And Al, I would argue that you're still in the business 5 years later because you've incorporated all of the areas of business from the beginning.
Absolutely. I mean, the annuities, when you bring in a few $1 million, okay, and helping those folks for their situation, especially the last couple of years where the market's been pretty volatile and got beat up. I mean, they'll call me up even on the phone and say, "Man, thanks for saving me because I would have lost a bunch of money." But having those assets that come in is a good thing, and the money that we make from that is a nice booster.
You're fully serving the client. You're the hero when they see what the annuity does pay off, right? The value the products bring to our clients is incredible, which creates clients for life for you, right? But then, what it does to your profitability as an agent and keeping you in this industry, I think has been tremendous for our seasoned agents like you who have been around for a while and aren't afraid to incorporate all of that.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming in and sharing with me and all of them as well. If you guys need anything, as always, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can always just reach us at info@fflams.com, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks again.